What's up? If it isn't love for self in your mindset, wrong answer. Welcome back to another message. Welcome back to another message. Before we start, as always, I want to let you know that you are loved. You're appreciated. I see your strength, your bravery, your courage, your creativity, your uniqueness, your ingenuity. I see everything that makes you you, that makes you special. And I can only hope that you do too, because the world deserves it and the world needs you. Today I want to share with you the idea of not allowing yourself to repeat the same cycles, the same toxic patterns. Many of us who don't consciously think, who aren't observant, who aren't consciously attempting to shift out of a space, repeat the same toxic cycles and patterns over and over, and they hold us back. And then when the cycle's completed, we look around, we try and figure out, and that's the key word, we look around the same circular patterns. We look around, I know, right? So after this circular pattern's completed, we look around and we can't figure out why we're stuck in the same space. Why we made what we felt like was this motion, why we done all this walking and completed all of this motion, expended all of this energy, but we're still in the same exact place. And it's because we're walking in a circle. You're completing a circular pattern. You start and you finish at the same place. You're not progressing. And you're not progressing because you're not consciously thinking. You're not being observant. You're not recognizing that by completing the same patterns of thought and thusly reliving the same pattern action, you're going to stay in the same place. The only way to escape a pattern, the only way to escape the circle and shift to a new space that you desire is to change, is to do something, anything different. And that all starts with your mentality. You have to change the way you think. You have to guard your thoughts like a Jedi. The Force has to be with you. I know it seems hard, I know, and it doesn't. No, that's the wrong thing to say. It doesn't seem hard. We perceive it as hard, but it's not hard. We perceive it as hard because it's easier to allow your mind to run wild. It's easier not to take responsibility for your thoughts, even though you're the only one up here. That's easier. So we perceive it as hard to have to be a guard dog for your thoughts. But it's not hard at all. In fact, it's beautiful. It's beautiful that you can consciously think and shape your reality. So to escape a pattern, to escape a circle, you have to begin to think new thoughts and shut down the old thoughts. If you want to be at a desired place, become a desired person, become the person you desire to be, you have to think like that person. What does the best you think like? Well, how do I know? Who is the best you? What is the best you do? What is the best you like? What is the best you have in their life? From there, you can easily shape your thoughts to be in alignment with that. At the same time, you have to be observant and recognize when you're falling into old patterns of thoughts and shut that shit down. Like, you can't allow it to inhabit space in your mind anymore. Imagine your mindscape like a city. And your old pattern thoughts are derelict buildings that are crumbling down. And the more attention you give them, the more energy you give them. It's like a construction crew comes out in your mind and begins to rebuild these structures. But when you take control of your mindscape, of that cityscape in your mind, and you begin to tell that construction crew to tear down these old derelict thoughts, these old derelict buildings, what do? You create space. You create space to now replace those with new thoughts. And these new thoughts will flourish and create the reality that you want to live in. But none of this can happen until you take back your power and your control. If you continue to pay attention to this fallacy that other people can control your mind, that other people can build structures in your mind, then that's what will happen. That's what will manifest. You'll hold on to ideas passed on to you. You'll hold on to words placed upon you. You'll hold on to media you observe that does nothing for you. It all starts and ends with you. And the problem is in fact in the ease, in the comfort that we take in giving in to old patterns of thought. It's easy. It's easy not to think for yourself. It's easy not to form new thoughts. It's easy not to build yourself up. It's easy not to love yourself. It's easy not to constantly nourish yourself, to compliment yourself. It's easy because it's what we've been trained to do our whole lives. We've been told it's wrong to think highly of yourself. It's wrong to love yourself. You should seek love externally. You should seek validation and gratification externally. If somebody else isn't telling you you're doing good, then you're not doing good. If you don't have 1 million followers, then you're not doing something right. Like, that's bullshit. We've been raised in a society of bullshit, and it's no one else's fault but ours. It's not like this knowledge didn't exist, like I'm saying something brand new. Like, this knowledge has been around since the beginning of time, most likely. It's very likely, very possible. The only person we have to blame is us, because we accepted the bliss of ignorance. It tasted so good on our tongues. It was so satisfying falsely because it was so readily available. Oh man, ignorance, that tastes delicious. And then an hour later, oh man, now I'm still hungry. Why am I still hungry? Well, at least there's abundance of ignorance. I can keep feeding myself. You don't have to search for ignorance. You don't have to search for negativity. It's projected to you constantly. Turn on the TV, go on YouTube, Instagram, social media. The first thing you're presented with is ignorance. But it's your choice. You choose whether you want to dig deeper and find truth, find knowledge. And the same goes for escaping patterns. You choose. Because whether you realize it or not, you're choosing to allow that negative thought, that old pattern of thought, to inhabit space in your mind. And in doing so, you're choosing to complete the circle, to act out these negative thoughts, act out these circular patterns. You have to be conscious. You have to form your own thoughts and choose to break that circle open and walk the path. It's up to you. It's so easy. Start right now. Tell yourself you love yourself. Generate that image, create that image of that better self, of the self you desire to be in your mind, and talk to them. What do? Tell yourself you're good at that. What do they have? Tell yourself you have those things. This is how the law of attraction works. Even deeper, this is how life works. As above, so below. Internal thought, external actualization. Like, it's that simple. It goes no deeper, no further. So I say to you, I challenge you today to break that circle, to break those patterns you're living in. I challenge you to build the life that you want to lead and begin to become that person. Converse with that person. Put yourself in tune with that life. Yes, you'll have to let people go. Yes, the universe or you, whatever you want, whatever label you want to put on this is simply space being cleared. If you have to let people go, if you have to separate yourself from environments, groups, this simply means that in your desired state of being, these things can exist. It's truth. Truth gives no fuck about anyone's feelings. It's truth. But you can allow environments and other people external of yourself to shape your destination, to shape where your limit is. How silly is that to say, I want to be this person. Like, this is the best version of myself. This is what's most fulfilling to me. This is what makes me the most happiest. This is what will make me jump out of bed every morning. This is what I can do even if I wasn't paid to do it. It would just make me that fulfilled, that happy, that the universe would just work for me and provide me everything I need because I'm providing fulfillment and love to myself and thusly giving fulfillment and love to the world. How silly is that to sacrifice that? Or how silly of a notion is it to sacrifice that fulfillment for yourself, that love for yourself, and thusly that fulfillment and love you're going to provide to the world for toxic people, for people that don't add anything to your life, for environments that don't add anything to your life. It's ridiculous. But this is the ignorance we choose because it tastes good. It's easy. It's an easy pill to swallow. We don't have to do anything. We can keep staying in the same environment, doing the same thing over and over until you're old and you're looking back like, what the fuck have I done with my life? Is that who you want to be? Do you want to just walk this pattern until the pattern runs out? Or do you want to forge a new life where you're happy, where you're fulfilled, and you can provide love and fulfillment and purpose to the world? This is your world after all. It's just you. We're all reflections in it. The only person that's going to be unhappy or unfulfilled is you. The only person you have to answer to for the life you live is you. Just make a choice. Choose to be fulfilled. Choose to break these thought patterns, these action patterns. Choose better. I know it may seem hard, it may seem arduous, but as I said, the first step is your last. That feeling you get when you take that very first step towards forging the life that you want is the only thing you need to hold on to. It's the most fulfilling, most encouraging, most beneficial, most loving feeling you can have because you're doing what's right for you. And in this world of falsities and mirages, that's the only thing that you need. So choose. Don't be a victim. Peace.